The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have released a video of a panel discussion that they hosted last year on children's online safety. It's to coincide with Mark Zuckerberg appearing in front of the US Senate to discuss the same subject.
When the car was first invented, there wasn't a seatbelt. And what happened? People started to get hurt. People started to die. So you started to change the car.
We need to get out of this idea that, young kids, there's something wrong with them. It's the world that we're allowing to be created around them.
Harry and Meghan said that even the best parenting in the world cannot keep children safe from these platforms, and they called for action, saying this is an issue that transcends division and party lines. Joining me in the studios, TalkTV's royal correspondent Rupert Bell. Hello, nice to see you, Rupert. And down the line from LA is Kinsey Schofield, royal commentator and host of the To Die For podcast. Good to have you on board again, Kinsey. Lots of love to you. Let's start with Rupert on this one. Why have Harry and Meghan released this?
Well, there's obviously lots of debate in the States about this. And clearly it's for them to be seen that they are doing something proactive within their Archwell Foundation, and it is something that they have made a bit of a cause célèbre about. It just feels that it's a sort of PR move on their behalf to try and probably retrieve some of the negative headlines and seem to be doing something good and positive. And no one's going to disagree with what they've said in this, which is, yes, it is tough for children out there and they need to be protected. And clearly there is some political movement in the States around this. So it feels like they're just trying to make themselves seem relevant while it is a topic of conversation within the United States and probably on a broader scale as well.
I wonder if Kinsey sees it in the same way. How's it going over in the US?
I mean, I agree with Rupert. It does look like it's an attempt to insert themselves in a bigger conversation that they were not invited to. The Senate doesn't care what Harry and Meghan think, and Americans certainly don't want a foreign prince coming over to try to make changes to our laws. This isn't the only time that Prince Harry has been involved in something like this. He also works with the Aspen Institute here in the States, which is looking to create new guidelines for how we navigate on social media. I think that they're trying to prove themselves as thought leaders, but it's hard to take them seriously in that arena when you're watching this foundation that they've built for themselves professionally in the entertainment industry kind of crumble.
It's interesting that you mentioned the entertainment industry, Kinsey, because, Rupert, there are also developments being announced which involve Harry and Meghan.
Yes, well, Netflix are saying, well, they've got things in development. Well, yes, they've been having things in development forever, with saying there's one's a film, one's some documentary series. So again, it's all part of, it feels like a bit of a PR move from various organisations on their behalf when they're trying to claw things back. And when you look at what Harry and Meghan, all the bullying allegations that have been around them, and when Harry's actually got allegations around one of the charities that he's involved in, African Parks, and bullying allegations in parts of that, and yet he said nothing about that. So feels like they're just trying to give some feel-good elements that all is not doom and gloom within the Meghan and Harry camp, that things are happening in a proactive fashion.
I suppose, Kinsey, though, you can't take issue with what they're saying. People will think they're trying to say something helpful. They look lovely. Meghan looks gorgeous in that white dress with her shoulders out, very elegant, very charming. She loves branding herself white in a white dress, doesn't she? That white kind of lovely, pure sort of look. And I think she looks stunning. And I suppose you could also say, we are talking about it. You're talking about it in the States. We're talking about it here. So, they are able to make waves in a way, aren't they?
I agree, but I also think what they're saying is common sense, and it feels a little bit like virtue signaling. When you state the obvious, are you really making an impact? We should think twice before we leave mean comments on the internet. We should, I was watching a woman speak on your program earlier about how the internet has become such a toxic culture. Absolutely, and I think that it's a pretty obvious thing that you and I log on to Twitter every day and see hateful things about ourselves. It's something we all have to deal with. So it's not like there's anything, courageous about this. They're not taking a unique stance. They're stating the obvious.
And tell me what your take is. We've heard what Rupert says about the Netflix projects, in hand, they're imminent, there's something or other going on in development, and, practically everybody could say that if they felt like saying it. Do you anticipate some brave new world of cinematic extravaganza emanating from Netflix with them on it or in it?
Well, they need to hire you as their PR person. That was a beautiful description right
thank
there.
you.
I think that we know that Meet Me at the Lake is in development, but Vanessa, it took 2 years for them to create and execute Harry and Meghan. They've got that, they're the only commercial success they've had with Netflix so far out of the 3 projects that they have executed. So it took them 2 years to execute Harry and Meghan. They've got less than a little over 1 year left on their Netflix contract, and they've got Meet Me at the Lake, and that's all we know of for certain.
And what is
so
Meet Me at the
I'd
Lake?
say, you know,
What-
hopefully they can execute that quickly.
What's Meet Me at the Lake? It sounds like a musical with Debbie Reynolds. What's Meet Me at the Lake?
It's worse. It's worse.
What is it?
God bless Debbie Reynolds, actually. No, Meet Me at the Lake it's a book that they have that Netflix, not Archwell, Netflix purchased the rights to for Harry and Meghan to develop into a movie, and it is very similar to Harry and Meghan's story. You know, the lead character based in Toronto, someone loses their parent, so it's eerily similar to Harry and Meghan's story, perfectly marketable for those two, and you know, I think that's really the only thing we know that definitely is on the horizon.
Meanwhile, in this country, we have the Queen, we have Camilla really stepping up. Like she's doing all the heavy lifting.
She is. She's out there with obviously the King and the Prince and Princess of Wales both now taking a backseat, clearly as the Princess of Wales recovers. But the Queen, you know, we saw her going to the hospital on a daily basis while the King was in there, and then day after she's back out there on the front line, as it were. And it's very interesting to see that she's now almost, along with the Princess of Royal, they're the go-to people within the royal family that they need. Princess Anne was doing the investiture yesterday with Davina McCall getting in amongst others. So, you know, they need Camilla and
Kinsey, just one quick line from you on how America is perceiving that. Are you aware that it's Queen Camilla who's doing all the work at the moment?
Yeah, we are. And I think it's great because it totally squashes Harry's narrative that she's the wicked stepmother. So good for Camilla. We love Queen Camilla. You go, girl.
Really, do you? Is that true? Can you say that? Someone who hosts the very famous To Die podcast really loves Queen Camilla. Did you ever think you'd say that?
I didn't, but I love the evolution. I mean, I look at her today. She looks beautiful. She's elegant. She's graceful. And I think that she has proven to be a really important, you know, aspect to this new monarchy. I think she supports the king in the best way. She keeps him sane. And I loved Diana, but we know that she did not keep him sane.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I didn't expect you to say that. Fascinating. Thanks, Rupert. Come